Come travel with us as we explore Diwali across the globe. Diwali is celebrated in many countries worldwide, but do you know the traditions and practices of each nation? From Guyana to Australia, WESN presents Diwali Passport.
October 9th to October 30th, with replays on October 31st.
It's Diwali Passport, a WESN exclusive.
WESN.
Welcome to the program. This is 10 Questions here on WESN. I'm Andy Johnson. Good to see you. Hope everybody's doing well as you can. Well, on this program, on this edition of the program, we're talking with Mr. Andy Critchlow. He is a long-time employee at the Water and Sewage Authority. He's putting his hat in the ring to be the next leader of the National Union of Government and Federated Workers. That's the union that represents the majority of people working at WASA. And in doing that, he's seeking to step into the shoes of his father, the late lamented Nathaniel Critchlow, who for a number of years, a number of decades, he's been in the Senate on the basis of being the leader of that union. It used to be NUGE, the National Union of Government Employees, and then it was changed when the union changed its formula as to who it will represent. It became the National Union of Government and Federated Workers. Mr. Critchlow Jr. is seeking to step into the shoes of his father. He's our guest on the program this morning. Good to have you.
Nice to have me. Thank you very much.
All right. So let me ask you to talk a little bit about your dad. And I'm asking you to do that simply because I think, you could tell me if I'm wrong or not, that you want to step into his shoes because of say, the person he was, in terms of, like I say, in public service, and that he must have left something that you take along with you in your life. And so this is he was a significant player for some time, both in the trade union movement and in the politics. Like I said, he was in the Senate, he was an independent senator. Take it from there. What about him that you probably admire to the point where you want to step into his shoes?
I'm too sure if I want to step in his shoes.
No?
It was difficult.
Because you don't think you could fit in his shoes.
It's not so much that, it's that growing up, he always taught us and he always demonstrate, if you get into something, you got to go your all and then some. Given the era, I felt that, it was a slight burden on the relationship with the children.
Okay.
Because he leaves early, comes in late.
He spent a lot of time doing the people's work, so to speak, and that
And one thing he taught us, without saying a word, there's no room for failure. There's no room for failure. You only fail when you decide to give up.
If you don't think that you could carry it, just quit rather than to be...
No, don't quit. Quitting means that you never thought you could have done it. Because along the journey, help will come. When help is really needed, it will come. Because we still believe in the great creator of all things. So once you're genuinely doing something from your heart, you can't fail.
And how has that helped you to become who you are, without mind knowing too much about who you are?
I think the foundation of my life. Rather step, my mother might have been the stronger person. My father was a man of few words to his children, but demonstrate how to carry yourself through life by his actions and commitment to family.
Yeah. He set an example by being who he was, and he didn't try to influence you all with too much.
And our watchword was, in the house, you're not better than anybody, nor is anybody better than you. So that set the stage for the 7 of us to be what we are today. Servants are the people. No matter where we end up, we always have this thing to serve. Even that simple thing as a football team, to be doing something in the community, we will always find a critical serving.
And shall we say, well, your sister Joan Critchlow Coburn, who was a minister in the last period,
Yeah. Well,
2010 to 2015 to 2020.
and her career really actually was HR, the other side of labor.
Right.
Right? She went to hold the ICE office in HR with the NIB, resigned and then move on, well, forced into this minister role. Which she did a very good
You said
job.
forced in, I mean, she was prevailed upon to...
We pressured her.
You all, and you say...
Yeah, because we were seeing a void, first, especially the community. Given her background, she's one of the most liked person in the village. The family is an established family. And people was coming to us, hey, we need somebody to get in there. She's the most likely one because nobody wants it. And she won't live back, she's home. Everybody has something else doing. She have one son, he finishes UE, everything. So, she have time on her hands, so we forced her, honestly.
And she exceeded after a while. Let's get to this campaign for the... This is you're running to depose the current, who's the General Secretary, President of the... Because in some unions, the General Secretary is the man in charge, and others it's the President. President General of the National Union of Government and Federated Workers. And that person now is... James, yeah.
I'm going to give a little history. I never wanted this. While it not sit in my blood, because like I say, advantage. Let me take a look at our union. Our union is the greatest union, most powerful, richest, everything.
Is it?
No, we don't. It's creeping up.
When it used to be NUGE, the National Union of Government Employees.
Even when they joined, when it really come into being, what happened is that we had 250 acres of agricultural land. Before it had orchard and all these things, we were producing orange juice, grapefruit juice, and milk, and selling to all groceries. We had our own grocery. We built the houses in Valsine and Lopino. When we were selling our houses in Valsine for 135,000, home construction was selling in Trinity 200 and something thousand. Our houses was bigger, better, more land space.
Yeah, so that's the community they call NUGE now in Valsine, which, yeah, my mother used to live
We were the driving force behind national insurance. We were the driving force behind that. We were the driving force behind the Workers' Bank. How then could we know, which in the state that every year, our overdraft is over 3-point-something million.
What do you think happened?
The people who took over had no foresight. And the union gets stuck with most other unions in the past. The way we negotiate now is the same my father was negotiating in the 60s and 70s. Can't be going on now.
With him, and then who succeeded him was Selwyn John. And then
But really and truly, it was a guy nobody speaks about, Leslie Clifford. I think he died about 6 months after taking office.
Right, okay, so he didn't get a chance to...
Sheikh hold on as the deputy. It was too weak. Selwyn John took over. Selwyn John still tried to carry, but what he started trying to build, he tried to hold on. Now, no organization could really last without finances. No union could depend on dues. You would be foolish.
Dues alone?
Yeah. For example, if the Prime Minister today should pass an instruction to all government agencies to stop taking out dues from the members, from the workers, and send to the union, because there's a favor they're doing us. Right? There's a favor they're doing the union. You'd have a right to that. The union and them will shut down in 3 months. They would shut down. We just operate on an overdraft. So we cannot continue in that vein. Leadership is about seeing into the future, planning for the future. As I was telling the workers once I go around, I said people all close to 60, whatever we do now, is just to try and keep you afloat. The real foundation we're laying here is for our children and our grandchildren, not have to go through what we are going through now.
Which is what, when you say what?
Fragmentation. We have not grown.
Your membership is less than what it used to be per capita and so on.
I remember back in the days of my father, we had 60,000 people guaranteed, and in between just going up and dropping, up and dropping. We down to, in this election, we have 16,000 people could vote. The membership is around between 19 and 20. We represent about 40-something thousand people. That's all we have. People are losing interest. People are feeling the union is irrelevant. Simply because we're not changing. For example, WASA. We have done some things in WASA. The best thing happened to Labour in the last 35 to 40 years is something we call a medical plan. That medical plan was solely negotiated by me as a branch officer in WASA.
Which was your branch? Which was your branch?
WASA Workers Social. Right. In 2000, we were successful in getting that plan. Seeing the benefits of it, I went to Giuseppe. He was the President General. Explained
Robert Giuseppe.
Yeah. Now, to be honest, we was trying for years, I wasn't getting you. A major player in that was a political figure, foreigner, called the Hart. Being in NIB, who was me talking to Alva Allen, who was a prostitute on the NIB board. And he asked him what the conversation about. And he invited me, and we sat down and talked, and he was able to pull everything together, and we got through. Now, what was all about saying he do it? No, he was going around. Right? We went to Giuseppe in 2000. Giuseppe buying it, took him to Coldat and them, and M&M, and a deal was struck, and that's how all daily pays end up with it.
The daily pays?
Yeah, all daily pays. Well, the PSA get through because they must do with us, right? Leroy, at the time, Leroy, but this was the chairman in WASA, and we have from the same work center, so it was always good. So something like that wouldn't pass, and they wouldn't get. Right? So we had a relationship up to today. Now, I go out campaigning. Just have me in a very uncomfortable position, saying what I achieve. Because when you watch what WASA have, compared to all the other entities, it is embarrassing. You're feeling guilty to know that you could be getting these things, and your brothers and them say, don't general council, and with nowhere close. A simple thing, sick leave bonus is something we have. They have it, but we just give a sick leave bonus every year. They have to wait 4 years to get it. What is the justification for that? No? Let me give my major achievement. Our pay went up because we did a parity exercise. Basically what we did is that we claim our vote. And we compared it to TNT, the port, all the major companies, the oil, everybody. We took some of the islands, we touched outside of the Caribbean, and was able to justify that the jobs we do are equivalent, and in most cases, we did more. For example, TNT. Everybody knows TNT is power, current. But TNT electricians and them break up into 4 categories. You're doing power, you're doing lines, you're doing lines. In WASA, we would do it all 4. When they start talking about pumps, you have to talk about a trench pump and a pump for your hole, right? You talk about 7-stage, 9-stage, 12-stage pumps. But to store that than me, 500.
Right. So how does one campaign for a senior position, for the leadership of this union? How do you?
Well, it was a kind of long ago, but it was changed to one man, one vote. The one man, one vote is a more open thing, but you know, the person inside, because of the way it's structured, how it's wide and vast, it's easy to manipulate it. This is history making, and you have 3 different people vying. The nice thing about it is, the 3 people know each other. Because we all come from our founding member, the Faithful, right? So what street? Lambert, Miss Jack. We were the 4 major people. I never wanted any high position, because to be quite honest, at the time, the WASA pay was more than the President General pay. It made no sense for me to go there. And then I ain't ready to settle down and stop. You understand? Get a house, I'm paying for a house. So give in. And so I commit myself to all that.
So you in Valentine or you in Lopino?
In Lopino.
Yeah, okay.
So what happened is that we had great plans. We know plans just go somebody on top, see something different. Because we informed an investment committee. That was to pull us out of this dependency.
An investment committee?
Company. But we haven't made one investment. I ain't going to the politics of that. I ain't going for that. We come to say where we want to go. Right? So we don't just give you what I have achieved.
Yeah.
I have achieved something that 2 people in the industrial court, 2 judges asked me, how I get you with that? I said, don't go help me. Our severance pay set up in such a way, like from 1 to 4 years, they give you a salary when you're not working for that and that and that. To make it long and short of it, if somebody from us is looking for $300 a day, and somebody looking for any other part except carrying, because they're private. They work for 35 years, and both of them retiring. The person outside of WASA gets $250,000. The WASA worker will get 500 and something thousand. Even if they have the same service, same salary. Because we have been able to restructure the whole process. Close the gap here. And when you reach 25 years, all your service is calculated on your last pay. So all this time when you was paying you, for when you were 20 years ago, what your pay was, and the pay it's on that, all that get thrown under the bus. And all your service is now calculated at your last.
Yeah, what your last salary would have been.
So you're more than double.
And so that is unique to...
With that, we moved from 4.5 weeks per year to 7. So that carry a pay, that carry a gratuity more than double. No, nobody don't know that because nobody can go down boast. And I kind of embarrassed to be boasting among your friends who don't get it. But the time has come that if the union don't make those changes now, we will die. And if we die, all other unions will die. We are the biggest.
You're still the largest trade union in the country.
Right? And the PSA understand that too. But there's an issue with the PSA and the new, just very serious issue.
Which is what?
When Duke resigned, the guy they placed as their leader is Leroy Baptiste. Now, Leroy Baptiste was not an elected member of the executive. But Leroy Baptiste was the man who carried everything for them, for the PSA. Duke was more like a figurehead, to be honest. On the day-to-day running, who do the proposal, who do all the negotiations, with the CPU, everybody, was Leroy. So everybody said they want Leroy to carry it on because he's the best. They have to carry it on. Duke agree. They put Leroy. All your press people call Lambert and Street and them and they start a battle of the man. He shouldn't be there, he wasn't elected. And create a rift. Now he called me. Because I tell you, come like brothers. I also talk to them on it. But they never apologized, they never tried to pull back on it. So it will leave a sort of in his mouth. So the relationship, not that good. But for workers in this country, the PSA and the youth must act as one. because both of us are the same employer.
And it's been so for decades. You remember? You remember there was a man named Leslie Otley? And I knew he's from a couple of generations ahead of me from the village I'm from, and I knew that I used to follow his development. I mean, he got to significant prominence in the union.
It's all about the union has lost its way.
Has lost its way, you think?
Sure. There's no credibility. Nobody respects us. Right? There's no transparency. Right? Our thing is to make the union relative and great again.
What is the sense that there are people who are listening to you and people on your side
no.
trying to?
We have a little rough survey. 70% of the people feel Lambert should go.
Lambert should go.
Yeah, he should go. Because of that, Street was able to, people gravitate him. They wasn't expecting me and my team to come.
Who is this? Street?
Street, Christopher Street.
Okay.
He's the eagle.
The what?
Green, eagle, the green. But we coming on board, change everything. Just even with the election being conducted, like set up flyers, we taking our proposal. We do, the people do manifesto. We stay away from that. Because we believe it's too much like politics, and most manifestos, nothing. So we do this principle. Pillars are principle.
They don't get followed.
Yeah. We don't follow them. And just for read, and most people want to read a long thing and mean nothing to them. So what we did is pillars, right, of success. So we have fairness, transparency, equal opportunity, things like that. And our number one pillar is the fear of God. Right? That's the Greendot pillar. So we want to be held at that standard.
But it doesn't matter which religious tradition you belong to.
It doesn't matter.
Because you have.
In other words, the higher power.
Yeah, okay.
Right? You could choose to call it or him or how you want. But there is somebody greater than us, and we know we have to account to that person, so that is our fear. We know we have to prepare for the future.
And that isn't an issue for people who say you're bringing religion into this and so on.
But I ain't getting that around as we go around. Yeah. Because personally, I am not a religionist. I'm a spiritualist. Right? So there's no issue with me. The pension plan is paramount. Now, they go in the wrong line to people and tell them they will get a pension plan for them. Always, oh God, we in arrest every year, we go over $3 million in debts. But we promising people all kind of $1,000 a month. It can't happen. We're not in a financial position to happen, to do that. So what we say is that let us plan. What do we have? Over London give us some land in Tobago, in Roxborough. That is under Giuseppe. So for 20 years now, nothing have happened. Colombo there 16 years, coming 28. Europe is a land in Lopino. You see, we could look up something, they get something going. They grade them, they think how much years they run the infrastructure for the sewer.
So it's to build more houses for members and the families.
Members. Nothing. Europe is a land, nice property in Sandy Grande, Paul Street. Nothing. We want to build a complex 45, 47 Henry Street. The same contractor, the same person they're using to develop is the same person. So nothing is happening, nothing, absolutely nothing is happening in that field. Roxborough is an easy thing because London was giving us all the access to put in so fast. And everybody who come, because his exact words that was in the meeting with Giuseppe, this land is being given to build low cost, was the words using at that time, housing for Tobagonians, daily rated workers. Right, just talking with him. Yeah, yes, no, you want to say something, don't worry. I know all they will take a percentage for the open market, but I give him this mainly for my people. You have a problem with that? I said no. UCP said no. Right? Could we understand you getting it? Nothing have happened. Nothing have happened. You're hearing threats still. And WASA, they roll the dice. Right? The dice. The board have given instruction to start to look to send home. They start with people who they could argue are not employees. Because remember, the PSA did a restructuring and signed it off. But
that's interesting. So people are working at WASA, but for some reason or the other, they're not considered employees?
Plenty. What they are saying is that we're using a loophole. The law says that it should be gazetted.
They have to what?
Gazetted and get approval from Cabinet and gazetted. The management sign off on it, while the PSA sign off. No, that's good. But because the positions on them are pension positions, the exchequer is saying have to be involved, and you can't do that without giving them a say. And that's the technicality they hold on to. So you're saying technically these people are...
So people are sort of forever temporary workers and so on. So they're not seen as employees.
Yeah. It's the same thing with the daily. We have to categorize workers to try to get rid of. In 2012, somewhere around December, they tried to get rid of 886 daily rated workers. I stepped in, forced Lambert, because he was flying out the country, threatened him because of the power of WASA. He can't hold office if WASA don't support you. He tells Street to go down by the lawyer and file the injunction. We went to file the injunction. But he thought he was losing the case, to be quite honest, until Mendes actually stepped in, August Mendes. So the two top dogs were fighting. When you see things going on, I say, yes, we get into then something say, but you know, you go win this, but you go lose the war. I started to study back why. Why you thinking so? We filed basically that WASA failed to give the 45 days notice. Right?
Yeah, of termination.
So something say, all right, I don't know what's going on there. No? When the judge ruled, they go wait a month, give you notice, and then they go send them home again. So he was able to get them to take it out of the court. So when I went in, take it, I said, Paulo, you have to take it out, you put me there. Took it out of the court, we sat down, we talk, and it was agreed that all 886 will be absorbed in the structure, and nobody from then to now have gone home. While they haven't fully been incorporated in the structure need to change. Yeah. But they are there from then to now, receiving all benefits. All the benefits that any other worker receiving is there. In 2015, when Rowley came in power, he started the same thing for 500 plus. Now, their case was stronger. Just before elections, they hired these people. Some of them hired them off the street, they were coming through the HR, they didn't make the qualifications, a number of things against them. But even my own officers, I have to fight against. Because if then for the plan, only taking on these extra people. Right? Because the talk is that what's our pie this big, the less people are taking it, the more people go get.
Dr. Seeley is a
yes,
man I was looking
silly.
for.
Yeah. When I say smart, it's the opposite of smart, silly.
Yes. And to what extent you would say that that is still an issue, this question of the transformation of WASA, that study that he had done on the basis of which he became the
Mr. Johnson, let me be real with you. There's no transformation of WASA. Since I worked in WASA 33, 34 years, they transformed in WASA. All different. Anybody come, they just want to take on the dust off. The Prime Minister had promised within 3 months he'd deal with WASA how we dealt with Petrotrain. What's going on? WASA is very complicated. People like to do these things so that they could contract out work, and people make millions and hundreds of millions of it. Right? How could you have somebody on the board who's supervising basic day-to-day runnings to make sure certain contracts go to a particular place? How could you have somebody on the board who was once the president of the Plumbers Association, who had 200 and something thing to be approved, right? Because he's a contractor. He moved from a lawman to the deputy chair of the board, form a department to deal with that, which he had oversight over. He get what he want, and the person who choose a junior person and put it with, when after it is finished, they send him back down like a dog.
So the culture of the organization has not really benefited from all these attempts at changing the way of life of the workers at WASA.
Turn back the hands of the clock 25, 30 years, they will tell you 50% of the water has been lost off of leaks. Today is the same thing. All the money they spend is the same cry. There's nobody in WASA who don't understand how to run WASA. WASA is simple. When water, treat it, distribute it. There's no maths in that. Right? It has some place, right? I was in for 5 years. Right? The right family house are still there while I'm a house in Lupino. We get water. That's country, we have to go and tote water. We go up toting water from this time pipe. Val sign the housing scheme. You know they pay a lower rate? Train City. Get water 24 hours a day. They pay a lower rate. I pay more. Who get water twice a week?
What do you think are your chances?
Everything's serving already. You see my performance. What happened? People didn't know of me because I'm not a boastful fella. I'm low profile. I do something and you can take the fame, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to me. But because of how the race end up, you see, they lack ideas. They're not selling anything new. All they're selling is dreams that really and truly is Freddy Krueger. They can't materialize. No, I's a dreamer. But I just dream and just go after my dreams. And if I wake up short, I'm sure it's a few steps somebody else has to take it to carry it over the line. And that's why we'll be successful, because we move from the pureness of our heart. Mr. Lambert just wants to be president because he feels he have a right to it, he own it. Right? And when time passes, he passes it down to his granddaughter. Street is like the typical daily wage worker. Many of them, they come, they're working long. As a promotion comes, they should get it because they're the longest serving person. They haven't increased their skill level. They haven't improved their academic level. Are here long. You write up a big long thing showing that 40 years you are in this thing. And in that whole long article, you can point to one achievement or at some achievement that was a major part in.
When and how are the elections conducted? Is there over a period of time?
Monday, the 28th of this month, Monday.
Yeah.
There are 15 candidates. You go in, you vote for all 15 on your team. So it's 3 people going up. But normally what's happening, once the president wins, the whole team wins.
That is how it is structured.
Yeah. People don't hardly choose individuals. So that is structure basically going down the road. But again, I said, our campaign has been building momentum. It's more vibrant, and we speak to things that, if you go and watch plenty of things I've been saying for years, you see they start to put it in. It's part of their speech or their manifesto. Ask them to drill down on it. They can't.
Yeah.
Because they're cut and paste.
All right, so November 28th, that's the day of reckoning.
Yeah.
All right.
That's the day when workers will say, this is the first step to take us back. There's a weakness in human beings. Eh? They like to learn. Right?
What do you mean?
Why do you want to learn when you're supposed to be remembering? If you come from the whole,
I see what you mean.
everything was here already. So you're going down a road. But as only the good part about that is you could only go so far in the forest. After you reach the middle of the forest, and that's where we are. Yeah. You could only be coming out.
All right, we have to leave it there, but let's see if this is prophetic. Andy Critchlow, the next President General of the National Union of Government and Federated Workers.
I'll make you a promise that would be.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, my brother.
Thank you very much.
It was nice.
This has been 10 Questions. I'm Andy Johnson. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
WESN comes to pera and laddu, I just use Chattak's laddu and pera mithai mix. It's a combination of traditional ingredients in one pack. I don't spend all that time preparing different ingredients like ma. 3/4 of the work is done. So now I can make fresh, delicious pera and laddu in about 15 minutes with the convenience of Chattak's laddu and pera mithai mix. Now Ma's kitchen is a Chattak kitchen.
My mom has been shopping here for the last 15 years. So coming here with her, now I have my own family.
The variety of items, cleanliness of the place, the space.